feel good about your decision? You've just committed to 4 more hours of cruising.
Yeah, I think it's the right choice.
Good morning from Oundle. Just to catch you up, we are on our way to the Crick boat show. We have a stall there this year. We had one last year, doing it again this year. This field is full of water. So we need to take our boat from like Cambridge area to Crick on the Grand Union Canal, which is about a 8 or 9 day trip. Today is day 6, I think. We are, I said we're in Oundle on the River Nene. We're just moored in this field, and today we need to make some progress. Our stretch goal is Irthingborough, but that is 12 locks and 20 miles. We did 20 miles yesterday, but it was only 8 locks, so that adds quite a bit of time on. If we don't make it there, if it rains, because there are thunderstorms predicted, we might just stop in Thrapston, which is about a third of the distance, so it would be a shame to stop there. One thing with the Nene is there's not that many good moorings to choose from. I mean, there's lots of moorings, but there's just not always ones at a convenient distance to where we want to travel. So yeah, we'll see where we end up today. Me and George are just out for a walk. George has got his ball, so I guess I should be throwing that rather than wandering around the field. Come on, George. It's gone. It's too long. The grass is too long, George. Come on. Oh, Michael's up, getting the boat ready to go. He's got the engine on. Maybe we're going straight away. If you watched last night's video, you know how much not fun, we had mooring up here. Both got covered in stinging nettle stings. It's really wet and slippy today, so we've decided that I'm going to walk to the lock, which is what I want to do anyway. That way I can undo the ropes, help Michael get the boat off, and then me and George can just meet him there. Assuming we can cross the weir and get onto the lock, but it looks like there's a footpath, so yeah, should be fine. If not, Michael will be doing the lock on his own and we'll be walking to the next lock. This is George being a very good boy, waiting. I mean, he's not waiting for me to walk him, he's waiting for me to throw the ball again, but you know. So the boat started going backwards in the flow of the river, which is fine. If it goes that far back, we're in trouble. And this is the issue. The way we tied on last night, we had the whole pin here. All right, be careful. Right, so George and I have got a tiny head start on the walk, but I've got a feeling Michael will be moving much faster than me, so it won't last. So we found the footbridge. Fun fact, I actually walked across there. It's not that fun. I actually walked across there 2 years ago when I walked from Fotheringhay to Oundle when I was training for the West Highland Way. Go on this way, George. He's letting me stay in front so far, but I've got a feeling he'll overtake me quite soon. So the first obstacle's the weir, and there's a very substantial footpath across that, so that's good. When will we learn? I couldn't get across the weir. There's a footpath to it and a road to it, but it's all private, and there's a massive like 6-foot gate, and it's all padlocked. So I'm back on the other side of the river. Definitely can't walk to the first lock, so it looks like Michael's going to have to do that on his own. If I get to the second lock, which is a good couple of miles away, I can definitely get to that one. So unless Michael can get to the shore to pick us up, then we're walking. So that's where I was over there. I could walk across that first weir, but that one, actually I could walk across both weirs, but then after the weirs,
Yeah, I'm just going to climb down the ladder.
there's all these sheep in the field across the path. Well, I'm sure they'll get out of my way. But the other problem is this dog likes to eat sheep poo. Oh gosh, that's a lot of sheep, Joe. Thank you for letting me through, sheep. Bye. So this is the bypass of the lock here, and behind that big bush is the lock. So Michael's doing that on his own. It's one of the ones with a wheel. So he's busy winding away. I think it's at least 2 miles to the next lock. So George and I are going to get a head start. George is still feasting on sheep poo. And yeah, from Google Maps it looks like there's definitely a path to the next lock. So I should be able to get across there. George is enjoying the sheep poo and I am enjoying this morning by the river. It's just gorgeous. Come on, George. It's enough sheep nuggets. So this bridge that I'm coming up to actually carries the road that crossed the river by the mooring we were on last night. So what I've done is this great big walk in a U-shape that's brought me south and then north again to the same road. And I probably could have just walked along the road, but my long walk was much more pleasant. I wouldn't have wanted to be on the road with George. Oh, I am tired. And I think Michael's having his own fun at the lock, so. So the walk just got a little more challenging and we're walking through all this vegetation and it's all soaking wet from all the rain last night and that soaked straight into my jeans. I hope this bit ends soon. Oh, so many bugs in my face. Spider webs, stinging nettles. Absolutely soaking. Okay, I can see the lock. There it is. Let's just hope I can actually get to this one. Although one way or another, I'm getting back on the boat. This walk is done. And we've made it to the lock. And I'm very happy. So I'm not sure that you can even see how wet my legs are, but they're wet to here. Just on the front, the back's dry. But we're at the lock, so we don't care anymore. And I've got some good news for Michael after his experience at the last lock. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, can you hear me?
Okay.
I'm at the lock.
Okay, I just got a sight of it, so I'm coming around the corner in a minute.
I also have the good news that this is a push button lock.
It does sound like good news.
So through the lock, more commandy, a boat turned up, so I was like, oh good, we can get George on, we can get on in the lock and just go straight out. He sat on the lock landing and then turned around and went back. So then we had to empty the lock anyway, which is fine. But Michael drove the boat out, couldn't get on the lock landing because the boat was there, eventually got on the lock landing, and I ran around shutting these gates about 3 times each because they just kept opening and you can't press the button to empty the lock until the gates are shut, so it's being a day. So there's the next lock.
Oh, is it really that close together?
I think so.
That's almost embarrassing.
I know, I could have actually walked this one with no bother.
Yeah. Oh, I am exhausted. The first lock, which it really should say, there should be a sign on, there probably is in the book, but there should be a sign on the previous lock and you know, somewhere in Arundel or whatever, it says, you know, no access, no pedestrian access to the lock. Like it should be obvious.
Might say that in here.
But
I knew we were risking it this morning.
well, yeah, but like on the path, on the map, you know, the map makes it look like you can cross it, but there is no access to the lock. So Joe had to keep going after fording her way through a bunch of sheep. And I was like, "Way to go, Moses!" You got through, and then I was in the lock. I got myself out. It was a short, you know, it wasn't a big rise, so it shouldn't be too hard. But good God, are those wheels slippery when they're wet? And that one is weighted wrong, so like all of the work is lowering it, raising it. It kind of raises itself because the counterbalance is too heavy. And of course, there's like a little, you know, needs inspection thing that doesn't have its sticker saying when it needs inspection. So.
It needs its inspection now, people.
Oh, okay. There's just a very low bridge. Excellent. Very low bridge. Good.
Especially if the water's high.
Water's high, bridge is low.
Is it too low?
Well, we'll find out. I think we'll make it. Okay, this is
Is it really that low?
very low, but we'll make it. It'll just be...
I always find it so hard to judge.
my head is the danger.
Well,
Your head maybe, but my head definitely.
Oh, stop scraping your head on the roof. Come down. Michael, that's silly.
It's undulating changes in the roof is the issue. And it slopes to one side. My early warning system is very helpful, although God knows what I've just...
God, this lock is like a foot. Wheel or button, that's the question.
So that's what happens to a George when a George has to crawl through all of that plant life to get to the lock. Oh, that's so good. Oh, yes. Yes, you are soggy doggies. Look at you. So soggy. So soggy. Oh, widescreen. There you go. That is a tobacco. That is a George.
We're just coming up to Titchmarsh Lock. I don't know how many locks we've done today.
A lot. That's a lot of water.
What did you do?
Definitely more likely to kill people doing this with slippery hands when it's wet than it would be if there were arms on it. Okay. Yes, if you've gotten your balance wrong, the damn thing had spin out of control, and you could break your limbs. But are we at the bottom? We're at the bottom.
What did you do?
I think it's down.
I've checked whether there was a strong stream warming, and there isn't. But there's definitely a strong stream coming over this lock. In fact, the boat's rising up on its own.
But you're gonna get crushed right there. Let me just give you a little bit of a Good position. There you are. Much better. Much safer. Oh God, that's uncomfortable.
What's the matter?
Started vibrating on the brown note. Like, this is like there was a bit of research that was spent on trying to figure out whether or not you could make like crowd control systems that used acoustics to fire off a sound that it was at the brown note. It's supposed to be the resonant harmonics of human intestines.
Okay. Question.
No, human beings don't all have the same size intestines, so no, there's no such thing. See the next dog. Oh, hey, George. How you doing? Oh, okay. Had it locked on that side. Can you grab that?
You hold the wheel.
Yep. Are we there?
Yeah.
There?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Oh, there's another pretty snail. Lots of pretty snails around. Yes, hello. Thank you for reporting for duty. Don't step on the snail, don't step on the snail. Okay, George, well done. George is on the boat.
Have I got my keys? Have we got our
There's 2 lock windlasses behind you.
keys in my pocket?
Keys are in your pocket. Husband's accounted for.
Dog.
Husband's brain not so clearly still here.
So that was Titchmarsh Lock, headquarters of the Middle Nene Cruising Club. Slow past moored boats.
Okay, I've come over a little too tight here. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go.
Do you need me to at the front?
Just hit their bumper. And bounced off their bumper. There we go.
Do you want me at the front?
No, it's fine. It's just...
It's a tight corner with
It's a very tight corner with a lot of
boats
boats.
on 2 sides.
Yeah.
Can't be the first one to have done that.
No, that's why he's got all the bumpers there.
And the paint on it. Like a red boat's had a really bad time on that. Is there a lot of water pushing against you?
Yeah.
We're going really slow.
Yep, I know.
Are we sure there's no strong stream advice?
Well, when I checked an hour ago, there was no strong stream advice. And we're supposed to get a text message as soon as one's put out, which we usually do get. One text message, then another text message, then at least 10 phone calls.
When we're sat on the River Cam, not going anywhere.
Yeah. But like you can see those geese are having the same problem. They're not able to move upstream, they're just able to move sidestream. I mean, like that bridge,
There's a narrowing.
it constricts it so it's speeding up into the bridge. So I think we're going to find that as it widens out, it'll move fine.
So we're just approaching the first of the traps and moorings, which is by the sailing club. That's where we stopped the first time we came through Daxton. And they're really nice, flood-safe moorings. Michael doesn't want to stop.
Sorry? It's not too bad. Little heavy. Yeah, but not too bad so far. Well,
Undle.
yeah, Undle today. So,
7.
yeah, real early.
So this one is ice slip lock, I think. There's another push button. I don't know where all the wheel ones are. Every lock we get to, I think, is it going to be a wheel or a button? There's another push button. And yeah, this is the one in Thrapston. So we've got the narrow brick bridge to go through. And then I think 5 more locks today.
Oh, that noise is up here somewhere. It's moving.
So there's lots of moorings in Thrapston. There was the sailing club we just passed, and there's these ones called the I Slip Dave moorings. And then there's the other one just through the bridge that we stayed at last time. Does anyone know the explanation for this wall in Thrapston? Is it a bridge? Was it a pillbox? Was it where the troll lives and had his workshop?
Okay, so now's our moment. Earthlingborough or these ones here?
Earthlingborough, because there's a boat on these. Oh, there is a free one.
We could do it, though I think doing it would be a little bit harder than it looks.
Look, it's 4 hours and 5 more locks. Can we do it?
Yeah, I can do it. And I think we're better off doing it.
Okay, decision made. We're not going down there to that beautiful empty mooring. Feel good about your decision? You've just committed to 4 more hours of cruising.
Yeah, I think it's the right choice. Could be wrong. Could end up with egg on my face.
Look at this one's face.
Yeah. That's a nice face there. That's a good looking cow. You're a model. You're also a model. You're less of a model and more of a theory.
Denford lock.
You're no Vanush.
Sun shining. Michael's working the wheel. Knew there'd be more wheels. And they're here cutting the grass, so smells of freshly cut grass. Trapped behind a gate from that
They're all
terrifying.
reading the sign. What's the sign say?
No cows beyond this point. They're almost as terrifying as the sheep I had to walk past today. Mind your head.
300 yards from here is a public house.
Oh my
called
God,
the Cock
stampede!
Inn.
So they're reading that sign.
Yeah, they were all reading that sign. It says grass cutting ahead. So now they're all like, hey, fresh hay! Look off that way. And then like, look, it's all fresh and brand new.
Oh, they're coming back again. They heard you.
So sweet and earthy.
They heard you say fresh hay, and they were like, "What? That way?"
What?
Woodford Lock, and it's the first lock. No, it's the first boat we've seen all day, and the timing couldn't have been better. So they didn't have to set the lock for themselves because we could do it as we're going through, and we don't have to reset the lock because they'll do it as they go through. So timing couldn't have been better. This is Lower Ringstead Lock, and we still have the sunshine and we still don't have thunder, although Michael thinks that thunder is imminent because it's kind of that muggy heat. Water? When we get to Upper Ringstead Lock, we find an EA teamer there doing some maintenance. They tell us they'll be about half an hour, which is not the best news as we know the thunderstorm is coming.
So apparently the story is that at some point in the past, someone overwound it down and locked it in place. And it used to have, instead of a wheel, it had something where you'd attach a windlass of some sort to it. Well, she went and attached a windlass to it, unlocked it, and it sprang out and hit her, breaking her hip. So that's why they switched to the wheels, was because of the uproar apparently over one person breaking their hip. So now they've just set up for the future where somebody dies of a heart attack. So I understand wanting to do something about it. It's just what they've done is guaranteed somebody to die of a heart attack.
I can't physically do it at the moment. Like,
yeah, it could kill somebody. It will kill somebody.
I couldn't do the Nene on my own.
No. And when it kills somebody, they'll figure out, because the reason why they don't have solar power on them apparently is because they got stolen the next day because they were bolted in place. Well, metal adhesive, like metal epoxy, 2-part metal epoxy, you slather on a ½ inch of that, you push the solar panels down into it, they're not going anywhere.
Just leaving the lock, got to reset it obviously. But we've just had the second massive rumble of thunder. And I think it's about 2.5 miles of cruising, and then that last lock. All day I've been saying I'm not counting that lock. And then I can walk like 100 or 200 yards from the lock to the mooring. Because that's what we did 2 years ago. On clockwork. We've had 3 massive rumbles of thunder now. And there is a grey cloud ahead. Michael's just doing the wheel. With a bit of a pain getting onto the lock landing because there's a sunken boat at the end of it.
So that was the second to last lock of the day.
I keep thinking of it as the last lock because I'm really not counting the last lock.
Yeah.
I don't know what logic that is, but that's my logic.
Like I'm just not counting that extra 1,000 miles.
So yeah. It started to rain. There's 3 massive bursts of thunder, and now as we set off, there's a few raindrops.
Yeah, it's just a little drizzle, but
a bit worse.
Coming from that direction is a lot of dark, not exactly malevolent, not, you know, it ain't no Oklahoma thunder clap. My God, we're about to be hit by a twister sort of
I hope not.
Hammer cloud, but anvil cloud, that's the thing, anvil cloud. So I've seen worse, but I think it's one of those, what do you call it, temperature inversions, where
there was a little bit of thunder.
They're forecasting thunder, a fairly large amount of rain, and hail. So it's the hail that I'm looking forward to.
So we'll have got to where we want to get to, assuming we make it. Pretty long cruise, but glad we did it in the end.
Yeah.
Even though we're both broken.
Yeah. Now Joe's going to go inside. I'm going to put on my waterproofs.
And we might not film anything else.
Unless the 1-inch balls of hail that we got hit with outside of Brownston start dropping, in which case I want you to film what's going on out there while I slowly get pummeled to death.
I'll see if I can find you a hard hat.
Yeah.
So that workboat was quite frustrating. Like, I understand they've got their work to do, but like it's the last thing we wanted to see at that lot.
Yeah. No, I'm glad they're doing the work. And the WD-40 or whatever it was they sprayed on there definitely helped. That was way easier.
Really? I thought you were being sarcastic enough.
Didn't do a thing. Or if it did a thing, it was unmovable before. He said as he left, or before he left, he said that's as good as this one's going to get. So that's depressing. Well, they all have a badge on them saying, you know, due for inspection May 2023. So I think that's the crew that's just going on and be like, yep, there's the problem.
We've inspected it.
We've inspected it. Stick a new badge on, keep moving.
And there was a crew of, I can't remember if it was 5 or 6, 2 of whom were on their phone. One of whom was in the cherry picker. And I don't know what everyone else is doing.
I mean, I'm glad somebody's inspecting them. you know, I'm glad to actually see that, because there's quite a few locks that have an inspection due by sticker, but it's just blank.
Some of them say 2021.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to go and get your waterproofs.
Hopefully something fell off that.
My jeans have literally just dried out from this morning.
Well, say goodbye to that.
All right.
Right. I got George. I'll give you the microphone now.
Okay.
I don't know, well, point at the sky.
Might as well take those.
May as well take those. They're not going to be useful. And so the rain hit, and we've got hail hitting right now outside. Mainly heavy rain, but some hail. We just got on to the lock landing, moored up, and got inside before the hail hit. We got hit by some of the rain, but not the worst of it. So yeah, speed of sound through air. Speed of sound through air is 300 meters per second, I believe. Might be wrong there, but anyway, if I'm right, and it's not 600. Might be 300, might be 600. I can't really remember right now. One way or another, we're either 1.2 or 2.4 kilometers away from a lightning burst, depending on which way I remember that. And we got to the lock landing, and it's like there's the great big arch of the guillotine, nice big steel thing in a nice clear field of concrete with a little bit of grass on either side, and quite a ways to go before I retreat. I'd rather not be beside that thing when lightning hits. So
It's steamed up, so I can't show them.
1, 2. Good. Lightning's getting further away.
Like that. That's very comforting. Thank you. We have a visitor.
Slug.
It's a snail.
How did you get that?
I don't know. I think it might have been hailed from above.
Also, how are you going to possibly rescue it?
Well, I'd have to take the window out.
Just a little bit of hail there.
Yeah. Just a little bit. Also, look at the water.
What's happened to it?
That's all the mud coming down.
Yeah.
But that's all the erosion that's just happened to whatever is up there. Oh. It's over there, George. George is having a little bit of fun in the minor floodwaters left over by tropical storm, whatever the heck just hit us. And yeah. Apparently there's going to be an electrician coming down that way in about 30 to 45 minutes to help us out with the lock. So it's pretty good on the service time. Hopefully it is actually an electrical fault. There we go. Ready? You keep missing. You're going to be so wet. You're already so wet, but that's okay. I'm wet too. Oh, now I'm even more wet. Thanks, George. Well done. Well done. You found the direct. I didn't. I just went right in.
When the rain finally eases, we try to move through the lock to the Earthlingborough moorings, but we find there's now a fault with the lock, so we have to put a call into the Environment Agency.
Yep. The EA electrician has just drawn up, and he's already getting to work on trying to get the lock back up and running. So hopefully it'll be back up and running any second now. The water's turned all brown from the huge amounts of runoff from the road over here. But right, so quite likely you can't hear me, but basically they've got a light turned on back in here, but there isn't actually electricity in our thing just for the light. Apparently there was a power cut from the source, like the grid power died, so they're trying to rectify that.
by calling the grid. But yeah, not sure we'll be moving today.
I'm not sure how much Michael's told you, but the lock broke. We waited an hour 45 minutes for the EA. The EA have been here for about an hour and a half waiting for the national grid. The national grid's going to be another 6 hours, so they're going to try and manually get us through the lock. So Michael's just driving in now. He is tired. Come on, George. So the gate's going down. Not sure how they're doing it. Michael's down in the lock. George is ready for bed. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of water coming over the lock in this one. So as soon as the gate goes down, it'll probably start filling itself. Do you know how many hours ago we left our mooring?
12?
13.
13 hours ago. Excellent.
I'm glad I'm not stuck at those stupid Trapston moorings now.
It's not my fault. We agreed together, mutually, to continue on. It's, not my fault. It's not our fault that everything went wrong from that point onwards.
I mean, things had already gone wrong that day.
Yeah, but the hailstones and there's more coming, by the way.
I'm just glad that they didn't come any earlier.
Yeah.
Remember when I said I don't count that last lock because practically on the mooring. We got to that lock 4 hours ago. What a day, George. I haven't got the energy, George, I'm sorry. We're sharing my microphone because we're too tired.
It's been 13 hours. We eventually got up to Earthlingborough. Literally, as I pulled up, my phone started ringing with the strong stream advice from the folks at the Environment Agency. So I've just got the text message. Strong stream advice has been issued for the River Nene. Boating advice for River Nene. To hear more information, call blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to have to call that and hear the information, which basically will say, you're stuck.
Anyway, that was the longest day. And could be here for a while.
Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be nice. At least we're warm.
Might be driving to Crick.
Maybe. That's got to hit us first. And when that hits us, we find out whether or not the water levels go up.
And we find out in a couple of days if they stay up.
Yeah.
All right, we're done.
We're done. There's our snaily friend who was crawling up the window earlier. I'm going to transplant him into the bushes here. Good luck, my snaily buddy. Okay. Alright. Okay, George. Last kick. Okay, ready? Go.
We just come out of the lock. We're reunited.
We're reunited, but we split up a bunch of carp because there was the door closed. We were having a real problem getting the door closed. On both sides, and so I came over and closed one side, and Joe closed the other side. And as soon as they both close, and she starts to open the lock, this great big carp jumps out of the water and tries to, escape or whatever. And then as it's descending, I'm watching these carp just constantly trying to get up the walls and stuff. I just had this funny idea in my mind of like this school of carp up here, and the mom carp is like, so children, you see this door? This is the door through which you're no good for nothing father and your Aunt Christine went, and there was a noise and a rush, and we've never seen, when the door opened again, we never seen your dad, and we've never seen your Aunt Christine again. So what have we learned, children? Huh?
Don't go near the door, Mommy! Yes, exactly. And what else have we learned? Fuck that trollop, Christine! This is so stupid. But